All right, guys, we're back. David and Amanda here.
Hello.
The week is going by quick, and we hope you guys have been enjoying these videos. We're, again, trying to share collective input, collective knowledge that we've gained through talking with our agents. Amanda and I both interface. So we've got a great one for you today.
Mm-hmm. We're going to be talking about procuring cause and how to protect yourself if you're ever in the situation where you feel strongly about your situation with that you are owed a commission.
Yeah, so what does it mean? How do you deal with it? What should you look for? So real quickly, procuring cause, this comes up every so often, especially when a buyer's agency agreement is not being utilized, right? Where you don't have the buyer sign something saying that they are exclusively working with you. So, and that's pretty common here. And we have, I think you have the, you have the
buyer loyalty agreement or buyer broker agreement.
Yeah, buyer broker agreement. But we've done a simplified version for you. There's a car version, and we've done a simplified version. So we will send that out too. But real quickly, so you're going along, you're representing a buyer, and for some reason they end up going with another agent, and you spend all this time and invested a lot of time, energy, and effort, and you may have even shown them a property. And I know you've seen this too, right? That
yes, you've written up an offer and things like that too.
Right, and sometimes it is to that extent where you've written up an offer, and sometimes it's just that you've shown the property, and then they tell you, well, buyers, I'm not going to. Should I say the phrase "buyers are liars"? Maybe some are, but that goes for agents too sometimes, right? So where they end up looking at the property, and then first you get that call, and they say, hey, you know what, we're moving, or we're not going to do anything, or we're going on vacation, or we've got to take a quick urgent trip out of the country. And then next thing you know, 30 days, 45 days passes, and you might get a inkling in your head that,
red flag.
Right, red flag. And then you see, wow, they actually bought that property that you showed them. And then what do? You're irritated, you're upset, you're emotional, and you have every right to be so. But, at the end of the day, we've got to be, analyze the whole situation on who did what, when exactly, and then you go through. There's a couple avenues, right, for deciding who gets what in terms of commission, and we want to help you with that. So we're going to be sending out a car guideline. There's actually about 25 different items that you've got to be able to look at and evaluate, and we would be involved. And then there's actually hearings. There's mediation and there's arbitration. Mediation, the mediator is trying to come to an agreement for both sides to say, okay, hey, you know what, you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be happy, but at least let's find some common ground and maybe we can solve the puzzle. Because, and again, it is emotional. It's commissions are involved, and but a lot of people say, oh, the buyer is they're gonna write a letter. They're willing to come and testify. They're willing to do. It doesn't mean anything actually, because they don't even take it into consideration. If the mediator will try to come to an agreement, if the mediator can't come to, find some common ground, then it goes to arbitration. It's an all, when you win, it's all or nothing kind of platform. And I've been into some of those. They're not fun. We've defended our agents in that, and we've also successfully won. Amanda's been involved to be able to review the case file and really look at it, but there's a lot of time, energy spent on those things too. It's not just a quick and easy thing. You have to pay for the filing. You've got to schedule it out. Sometimes it's 60 days. So you've got to, let's talk about that one situation where one of our agents.
You mentioned before with a situation with one of our agents that he brought it up to your attention that he felt that he should be
do a commission, basically.
Do a commission for that property. And you ended up, we looked at all the facts, the datas, and we came to the conclusion that I'll let you share that one.
Yeah, that he is owed a commission, or he was due a commission. But at the end of the day, we looked at also time, effort, energy in collecting that. So we went ahead and settled without going to mediation and arbitration, because at the end of the day, it's a time thing as well. And we've all been in that situation where we have a client and then they've opted to go with someone else, and you put in that time and energy. So again, we definitely highlight the fact to use that buyer broker agreement, our version. If not the car version, then use that. And Amanda's going to be sending that out. And then the other thing is there's 25 different point value systems that the panel looks at to see that, hey, are you really the procuring cause? So please just don't assume that just because you showed the property or you wrote an offer that you can go ahead and get that commission. It doesn't always work out that way. So you really should evaluate all of those 25 actual aspects of the procuring cause guideline, and then definitely discuss it with
I was just going to mention, bring it to our attention, and we can look it over with you guys and see, hey, do we call the other agent and discuss things with them, see if
with their broker
as well, and see if there's some kind of way that we can work it out, doing a referral or whatnot. I've seen that also, where an agent says, hey, this client came to me, they don't want to potentially work with that agent anymore, but have they done the work? Yes. Have they done their due diligence? Yes. Is it the right thing to maybe just offer them a referral fee and say, hey, I'll take the client and I'll pay you a referral fee? We've recommended that a few times.
Right. So that could be like a 25% referral fee. And and again, you might feel the sting a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're going to see these agents again on different properties. So think for the long term, think from that perspective.
The
likability factor that you're going to have a listing, you're going to be in their shoes, they're going to be in your shoes. So try to look at the greater good. But at the end of the day, too, one important point to cover is that sometimes a buyer, you might be working with a buyer, and then several months go by, like 4 or 5 months, and then they end up buying a property. And that's also one of the factors that the mediator and arbitrator, the panel may look at and say, hey, well, how long is the gap before they bought something else? Because if it's immediate, you just showed it on a Tuesday night, Wednesday night, they ended up writing an offer with another agent, the listing agent, or a designated agent that the listing agent put them in touch with, and they got the deal, then you have a better case. But if it's been 4 months, 6 months, or whatever, and they've been looking at other properties, they made other offers, then the case is weak. So we want to have you evaluate that with our help, and then do those things that will help you by gaining the trust of your client, but also having them sign the buyer broker agreement. All right.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you. That's another tip from us. Remember, please get engaged. Watch these videos. We really want your feedback, and we're always trying. All right. Thanks so much. Take care.
Bye-bye. Bye.